Have you ever wondered why some people instantly command attention the moment they enter a room? Why certain opinions matter more, certain people get admired, and others are ignored? The truth is, human life is deeply controlled by invisible social hierarchies. From friendships and relationships to money, confidence, and power, status quietly shapes almost everything we do. And once you notice the hidden psychological game behind it all, you'll start seeing people very differently. Number 1, status changes the way people see you. One of the strangest psychological effects is that people often judge competence based on perceived status before they judge actual ability. Someone who appears confident, respected, or socially important is automatically treated differently. Studies show that people are more likely to trust advice from individuals who display confidence, expensive clothing, or leadership signals, even when they know less than others in the room. Our brains use shortcuts. Instead of carefully analyzing everyone equally, we quickly decide who matters. This happens everywhere, in schools, workplaces, relationships, and social groups. Sometimes the most skilled person gets ignored, while the most socially dominant person gains attention. And here's the scary part. Once society labels someone as high status, people often interpret everything they do more positively. Mistakes seem smaller. Opinions seem smarter. Even jokes seem funnier. If you're enjoying this video so far, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and join us as we uncover the hidden psychology controlling human behavior every day. Number 2, the fear of losing status is stronger than the desire to gain it. Psychologists discovered that humans react more emotionally to losing status than gaining it. In other words, people fear falling socially more than they enjoy climbing higher. This explains why criticism feels painful, why embarrassment can feel devastating, and why many people desperately protect their image. Social rejection once threatened survival in ancient tribes. Being excluded from the group could mean death. Even today, the brain still reacts strongly to social humiliation. That's why people become defensive during arguments, obsess over online validation, or hide failures from others. For many individuals, protecting their social position becomes more important than honesty, happiness, or authenticity. Number 3, social media turns status into a public competition. For most of human history, status was limited to small communities. Today, social media transforms status into a global scoreboard. Followers, likes, luxury photos, vacations, expensive meals, fitness results. Platforms constantly encourage comparison. People no longer compare themselves to neighbors. They compare themselves to celebrities, influencers, and millions of strangers. This creates a dangerous psychological trap called status anxiety. The feeling that everyone else is winning while you're falling behind. What makes it worse is that social media usually shows edited highlights instead of reality. Yet the brain still reacts emotionally as if those images represent normal life. The result? Many people chase appearances instead of fulfillment. They seek validation instead of meaning. Number 4, power quietly changes personality. Research repeatedly shows that power affects behavior in surprising ways. As people gain authority or higher social status, they often become less empathetic and more confident in their own opinions. Why? Because power changes the way the brain processes social information. High-status individuals are interrupted less, questioned less, and challenged less often. Over time, this can create overconfidence and emotional distance. But there's another side to this. People with power also experience pressure, isolation, and fear of losing control. Many leaders become trapped by expectations and constant observation. This explains why fame and influence do not automatically create happiness. Number 5, humans instinctively detect hierarchy in seconds. You can walk into a room for less than a minute and already sense who has influence. Humans are incredibly skilled at reading social rank. We notice posture, eye contact, vocal tone, clothing, reactions from others, and even movement patterns. Dominant individuals often speak slower, interrupt less, and appear calm under pressure. Lower status individuals may apologize more, seek approval, or avoid eye contact. What's fascinating is that much of this happens unconsciously. Our brains evolved to quickly identify leaders, threats, and alliances. Even children naturally form social hierarchies in schools and friend groups without being taught how. Number 6. Status influences attraction more than people admit. When it comes to relationships, status plays a powerful role. Confidence, ambition, social influence, reputation, and respect often affect attraction unconsciously. Throughout evolution, humans associated status with survival, protection, and opportunity. Even today, people are naturally drawn to individuals perceived as socially valuable. But status is not only about money. Humor, intelligence, talent, charisma, emotional control, and leadership can also create high social value. This is why some people become incredibly attractive without fitting traditional beauty standards. Their presence changes the energy around them. And interestingly, insecurity can instantly reduce perceived status, even in highly successful individuals. Number 7. People constantly signal status without realizing it. Many everyday behaviors are actually status signals. The way someone speaks, the brands they wear, their posture, their hobbies, their music taste, their car, their vocabulary, their travel photos. Even refusing to show off can become a status signal. Psychologists call this costly signaling. Humans often display behaviors or possessions to communicate value, success, intelligence, or belonging. Luxury products are one obvious example. But status signaling also exists in subtle forms. Some people signal intelligence through complex language. Others signal morality, fitness, productivity, or uniqueness. Much of modern culture revolves around invisible competitions for recognition. Number 8. High status does not guarantee happiness. One of the biggest illusions in society is believing status automatically creates fulfillment. Many wealthy, famous, or admired individuals still struggle with loneliness, anxiety, and insecurity. Why? Because status creates temporary satisfaction, but human desire constantly adapts. Once people reach one level, they often begin chasing the next. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. The mind quickly adjusts to achievements, making yesterday's success feel normal. This endless pursuit can trap people in cycles of comparison and dissatisfaction. Ironically, some of the happiest individuals focus less on social ranking and more on relationships, purpose, health, and inner peace. Number 9. Rejection activates the brain like physical pain. Social rejection hurts for a biological reason. Brain scans show that exclusion activates similar regions involved in physical pain. In ancient human history, being rejected by the tribe threatened survival. As a result, humans evolved to care deeply about acceptance and status within groups. This explains why public embarrassment feels overwhelming, why online criticism affects mental health, and why people sometimes stay in unhealthy environments just to avoid exclusion. Humans are social creatures. Recognition and belonging deeply influence emotional well-being. And sometimes, people sacrifice authenticity simply to maintain social approval. Number 10. The most powerful people often control themselves. Here's one of the most surprising truths about status. Truly powerful individuals often appear calm, patient, and emotionally controlled. They don't constantly seek validation. They don't need to dominate every conversation. They rarely panic under pressure. Why? Because real confidence usually comes from internal security, not external attention. Meanwhile, people desperate to prove superiority often reveal hidden insecurity. The loudest person in the room is not always the strongest. Sometimes true status is the ability to stay grounded while everyone else competes for attention. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Human society runs on invisible hierarchies. Whether we realize it or not, status shapes our decisions, relationships, ambitions, fears, and identities every single day. But understanding these psychological patterns gives you something powerful: awareness. Because once you recognize the game, you stop being controlled by it so easily. So now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed how status changes the way people behave? Have you seen social hierarchy affect friendships, work, or relationships in real life? Leave your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating insights about psychology, human behavior, and the hidden forces shaping our lives.